Hello, welcome to Broken Mind and Growing Confidence, the podcast with funding from the National Lottery and the government. I'm Claire from Positive Life Workshops. I am a guide and a healer. I help people who have struggled with anxiety and depression, who want to start living that more positive life. This week on Broken Mind and Growing Confidence, in the Staying Connected group, we are going to talk about getting some fresh air. So as simple as that. So the sessions are all around the Mood Boosters Workbook. So the first session, we talked about listening to songs that make us feel happy. And then we went on to talk about some inspirational quotes. And then this week's episode is about reading a book. This one that we're recording today will go out next week, and it is about getting some fresh air. So getting some fresh air, to some of us, that might spark awful thoughts and ideas of walking and running and exercise and being outside and kind of not wanting to put ourselves in that situation. If that's not something we're used to doing, then me to say go outside and have a walk or exercise might make you go, oh. So it's about kind of going outside and using the fresh air as a way of boosting your mood, but without having to go for a walk. You can still just go outside and kind of use the outside space, be somewhere, as ideally somewhere with a bit of nature and a bit of trees, a few flowers or plants or something that's kind of like a bit more than just a concrete wall and some fences. Just step beyond that, and it says get some fresh air. So getting outside for some fresh air is really beneficial. Increasing the oxygen in our bodies gives us more energy, which helps improve our mood. This, along with sunlight, increases our serotonin levels. This isn't called the happy hormone for no reason. Make a list of places you could go to below. It's not necessarily about going somewhere on a big, massive adventure and going for a walk and doing the exercise, even just going outside. So I use outside and getting some fresh air a lot of the time. It's something I do many times a day. Now, I have the excuse of the fact that I've got chickens. Now, I got the chickens at the beginning of lockdown, and they were baby chicks, and we watched them grow all through lockdown, and they were really beneficial for my mental health because I had a focus of something to do. And then the kids watched them grow, and they were fascinated with it. But then they had to go outside as they got older, and that made me go outside a lot more than I ever have before. And I mean, like, instead of just going outside and doing something and coming back in, I would go outside and sit outside and spend time actually outside, like under the trees with the chickens roaming around my feet normally. At the minute, the chickens are in chicken lockdown, but that's another story. So they're just as bad off as we've been. But it's still going spending some time outside in the nature. So taking note of the trees and the change of the seasons, watching for the birds. I'm awful for, well, I say I'm awful. I absolutely love taking pictures of birds and trying to figure out what birds what. And I love this time of year because, yeah, it's getting that little bit warmer, but we can still see all the birds in the trees and we can still see things moving around. So this is about kind of sitting back and asking ourselves, where can you go? Where's a nice space where you can just get yourself outside and get some fresh air? That might just be your back garden. And if you're feeling like a bit rubbish and your mood's not great, because this is all about boosting our moods, it's about taking that time for yourself. Just take 5-10 minutes outside to kind of relax and just get out and get some fresh air. Taking that time and using the fresh air to kind of benefit you. And it's about increasing the oxygen in your body. So concentrate on your breathing. So even if you have only got the concrete out there, we've all got that sky, and all you need to do is look upwards that little bit, and we can normally see some nice blue sky, hopefully if it's not windy and rainy. And it's taking the time, concentrate on your breathing, increase that oxygen in your body, and purposefully. So breathe in for that little bit longer, and then breathe out and breathe in and take in the oxygen. And as you're doing it, think about it, because as you're thinking about increasing the oxygen in your body, you're not thinking about all the other stuff that's going on. Now, in the book, it tells us to make a list of places that you could go below. So that could just literally be outside into the garden. And then you might know some places around. So around near me, we've got Carmel Dam in St Helens. We've got Three Sisters. There's loads of different places. I should have asked Kat to come on and tell us a list of places, but we can do another little episode about different places in St Helens we can go for walks. But it's not necessarily about going out for the walk. It's about spending the time in the fresh air and increasing the oxygen in our bodies, because oxygen is really good for us. And if we're inside all the time working, or if we're in lockdown and we've got used to not going out and not doing things, which I hold my hands up, that is me. I've got really lazy. So I used to do 10,000, 15,000 steps some days when I worked for the NHS. And now I'm lucky if I do 400 steps, 500 steps some days. Now that's a massive difference. And lockdown, because I'm not going out doing things, I'm not increasing them steps. So it's about kind of still doing things that are beneficial for me. Because I know now if someone asked me to go on a walk for an hour, that would make me go, I've not walked that long for ages. Is that going to kind of cause me some issues? Is that going to and then I'd probably get anxious about whether I could actually physically do that walk, when I know I can, but I might suffer the day after because I've not been doing very much. So the getting out and the getting the fresh air, it's all about increasing our oxygen and concentrating on using that as a tool to boost our mood, because it increases the serotonin in our bodies, which increases our mood. So serotonin is in a lot of the antidepressants that they give us and things like that. And they tell us to eat, I think there's bits in chocolate and things like that. And they tell us to eat it, little tiny bits, dark chocolate to boost our mood. I know Brazil nuts are really good things to boost your mood. But getting outside, getting some fresh air, and you don't have to do it with somebody. And you don't have to kind of have somebody say to you, come on, let's go out and do this. You can do this on your own. You can kind of just think, right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Right, let's just go outside and spend 10 minutes outside. Just get away from everything that's going on and top up that self-care. Top it up. Because the more you top up the self-care and the looking after yourself, the easier it is to look after other people in our lives and to carry on doing things that we need to do. And I think that's kind of it about it, because we need to kind of talk about where we will go outside now. So I will go back to the session, and anybody who's listening to the podcast, you're more than welcome to join us next week. And it would be absolutely fantastic if you could subscribe, rate and review the podcast. It will be great. Thank you very much for listening. Thanks for listening to Broken Mind and Growing Confidence. Find us on Facebook at Positive Life Workshops. Come and join our Facebook group, Broken Mind and Growing Confidence, or the Ladies Wellbeing Group. Our anxiety course will be live soon. If you're looking to improve your confidence, if you're interested in any healing, card readings, having problems with anxiety or your own confidence, feel free to give me a message. Thanks for listening. We'll be here again next Thursday. Goodbye.